Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about a time when the world went completely insane, when thousands of people sold everything they owned, left their families behind, and walked across a continent for a single chance to get rich. It wasn't a movie, it wasn't a legend, it was the California Gold Rush, and the real story is way stranger than you think. Let's start. In 1848, a man named James Marshall was building a sawmill in California. He was next to a river called the American River. He looked down into the water and saw something shiny. He picked it up. It was gold. He tried to keep it a secret, but secrets like that don't stay hidden for long. Within 1 year, more than 300,000 people arrived in California. They came from everywhere, from America, from China, from Europe, from South America. They sold their houses, they left their families, they walked thousands of miles, and all of them wanted the same thing: to find gold, to get rich, to never work again. But here's what most people don't know: almost none of them got rich. The real story of the gold rush is not about gold. It is about how one moment of luck changed an entire country forever. Before 1848, California was a quiet place. It belonged to Mexico. Only a few thousand people lived there, mostly farmers and missionaries. Then the gold was found and everything exploded. The first miners were lucky. They just walked into the river and picked up gold nuggets from the ground. Some found $10,000 in a single day. That is about $300,000 today. News spread slowly in 1848. There was no internet, no phones, no telegraphs yet. But by 1849, everyone knew. The newspapers called it the gold fever. And the people who came were called the 49ers. They traveled in covered wagons across the desert. That took 6 months. Many died on the way. Others sailed around South America. That took 5 months. Ships were overcrowded. Diseases spread. Some took a shortcut through Panama. That was even worse. They had to walk through 100 kilometers of jungle with almost no food, but they kept coming. By 1850, California had so many people that it became a state, not a territory, a state in just 2 years. That has never happened before or since. Now let's talk about the mining camps. Imagine a tent city in the middle of nowhere. No laws, no police, no hospitals, just men with pickaxes and guns. These camps had names like Murderer's Bar and Hangtown, and they were exactly as violent as they sound. Men fought over gold. They stole from each other. Sometimes they killed each other. But here is the strange part. Most miners didn't find enough gold to even pay for their food. The ones who got rich were not the miners. The ones who got rich were the people who sold things to the miners. A shovel that cost 50 cents in New York costs $50 in California. A loaf of bread costs $10. That is $300 today. A single egg costs $1. One man opened a laundry. He charged $5 per shirt. He became a millionaire. Another man sold pickaxes. He made so much money that he bought a bank. And then there was Levi Strauss, or he made pants out of denim. Strong pants for miners. You still wear his brand today. So, who actually found gold? A few lucky ones. One miner found a nugget that weighed 28 kilograms. He sold it and became rich overnight. Another group of miners found a gold vein that made them millionaires. They called it the Potosi Mine, after the famous Silver Mountain in South America. But for every one winner, there were 10,000 losers. Most miners left California poorer than when they arrived. Some went home, some stayed and became farmers. Some just disappeared into the crowd. And what about the environment? The gold rush destroyed California's rivers. Miners used high-pressure hoses to blast entire hillsides into the water. They used mercury to separate gold from dirt. That mercury is still in the ground today. Entire forests were cut down. Whole mountains were washed away. You can still see the damage if you know where to look. And here is the saddest part of the story. The original people of California, the Native Americans, were pushed off their land. Thousands were killed. Thousands more died from disease. By 1870, the native population had dropped by 80%. The gold rush built California, but it was built on their suffering. So what is left today, you can still visit the old mining towns. Some are ghost towns. Others became real cities. San Francisco grew from a small village of 800 people to a city of 50,000 in just 4 years. The Golden Gate Bridge, the Silicon Valley, Hollywood, none of that would exist without the gold rush. Because the gold rush brought people to California, and those people stayed. They built schools, they built banks, they built railroads. In fact, the gold rush paid for the first railroad across America. And here is the final twist. The man who started it all, James Marshall, never got rich. He found the gold that changed the world, but he did not keep it. Other people took his land. He spent his last years as a poor man in a small cabin. He died in 1885, almost forgotten. But his discovery changed America forever. So here is the question for you. Would you have gone? Would you have left your home, your family, everything you knew to walk 2,000 miles for a chance at gold? Most people say yes. Most people are wrong, because the real gold of California was never in the ground. It was in the people who came, the dreamers, the desperate, the ones who had nothing left to lose. They built a state, they built a dream, and they built a story that we still tell today. Thanks for watching. If you want more stories about the people who changed America, subscribe. And in the next video, we are going back to New York.